Hello, I'm AJ Lazat, and I'm standing here in the gymnasium at Bishop Ryan High School in Minot, North Dakota, a gymnasium where Coach Dale Brown coached back in the mid-60s. In August 2016, family, friends, and dignitaries all came together to honor Coach Dale Brown at Hammond Park in a dedication and tribute of 2 outdoor basketball courts in Minot, North Dakota. One Saturday morning in March of 1979, my father told me that we had to stop working at approximately 1 o'clock. I didn't know why, but we went home. He turned on the TV, ABC Wild World of Sports, Michigan State and LSU were playing. Coach Dale Brown came on the screen and my father said to me, "Do you see that man? He was a friend of mine, a high school friend of mine. And if you ever get a chance to meet him, do it." Well, it wasn't even a year later and my father had passed. Please enjoy this video produced by Paul Breno of the dedication and tribute for Coach Dale Brown in his hometown of Minot, North Dakota. Enjoy.
Swinton Grins went on and became a captain in the Army. I went to Korea and spoke to the troops when he was in shop.
Okay, Dale, look up here, do it again. All right, there we go.
Look at all these hands. Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. Come on over here, you handsome guys. What's your name? France. And you're? The Guardian.
One way or another.
How you doing, Henry? Give me a hug, you big son of a... Sharon here? Sharon here?
And his dad, my late husband, and Dale Brown went to school together. And my husband just thought the world of him. So AJ has been working very hard at putting all of this together. And I'm so proud of him because I know he's way back in his thoughts. He's doing this in the memory of his dad, which is really, really a wonderful thing that he's been doing. And I know he spent a lot of time and energy and stress sometimes in what's been going on. But Dale Brown is, I guess, his idol.
Dale and I have participated as partners in many benevolent causes since I've met him. He's always there for me when I need a personality, an item, a word of encouragement, and he's just a very, very special guy. But the thing about Dale that's so remarkable to me and the way I sort of describe him is Dale's not just another famous North Dakotan. Dale is perhaps North Dakota's greatest patriot since Sitting Bull. And a lot of famous people have come from North Dakota, but very few have remained as loyal and patriotic to their home state as Dale Brown. So I'm grateful for his patriotism to our state and for his great encouragement as a friend. I think it's an absolute superb effort. A lot of hard work has obviously gone into it by the organizers. But we're all people who love Dale, and we're all people who want to make sure that he knows about our affection for him, and we want to try to use this night to be as much of an encouragement to him as he's been to all of us over the years of our friendship. And of course, as we dedicate the Dale Brown courts at the park, it's it's sort of a legacy, if you will. It's a way to continue being inspired and motivated by Dale Brown, even when he's not here with us, and to have that in perpetuity, not only for us, but for children and grandchildren and future generations, I think is a tremendous gift.
I've known Dale for 40 some odd years. Whenever I'm not traveling and I'm available, I love to go to whatever he's being inducted for, whatever he's being honored for, because there's really nothing that they could do for him that would actually justify all that he's done for other people. And I'm not just talking about basketball players. I've had some very close friends that have had hard times. I called Dale up and said, Dale, you've always said if I ever need anything to contact you. I've been blessed, I haven't needed you, but I have a friend that is on the brink of suicide. And Dale will go talk with him, take him to lunch, whatever his problem is. This particular individual had medical problems. He found a doctor that would treat him for free, found out what his problem was, got him on the right track, and he's still with us today. And that was 9-10 years ago. So it's just things like that. And Dale's always done that. You know, it's one thing to help a recruit or a recruit's family, because that young man is going to bring talent to your basketball program. But when you're helping people that are from another country that just need a break in life, that want to make something out of their life, Dale will do that. And he's a very, very good man. I love Dale. We came down here earlier today just to meet AJ and thank him for setting everything up. And I was blown away by how many tables were set up, blown away by how large of a reception he's going to have, and very, very impressed with the loyalty that the town is showing to one of their greatest residents ever. I think Dale Brown should think about suing UPS, because when I think of what can Brown do for you, I think of what can Dale Brown do for you. And if Dale's watching this, Dale, I love you to death. You've been like the dad I always wanted to have. Thank you for everything you've done for me and for my life. Thank you.
Gracious and loving God, we come before you this evening with grateful hearts, with hearts open to hear your voice, confident that where 2 or 3, or indeed 200 or 300 are gathered together, indeed you are here. We praise you and we thank you for the gift that has come into our lives through the life of the man we honor this evening, Dale Brown. We pray, O Heavenly Father, that you grant Dale Vonnie and their family the best of blessings. And we pray especially for the gifts of health, the gifts of energy, the gift of vision in the one that we honor, our good and our respected friend, Dale. In our hearts of gratitude, we praise you for the joy and the giftedness he has brought to youth, to our children, and indeed to our nation and to our world. We bring to you also our praise and our prayer for the food that we are about to enjoy. It is to the nourishment of our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. Father, always remember those who have far less than we, and our prayer is in Jesus' name. Amen.
First of all, thank you. That's really, really, really nice. Man, we got the whole clan. The Hennessy's, the Browns, the Almonds, the Hiders, friends, players. Doesn't get any better. How does something strange like this happen? I sat down and I thought about coming home. This is how I feel. Thomas Wolfe, one of our greatest novelists, wrote a book titled, You Can't Go Home Again. Oh yes, you can. If you pack right for the trip. When I packed to come on this voyage, back to my roots, I wondered, what should I pack in this suitcase? What should be included among my shirts, my socks, my suits? Let's start with memories. Begin with memories. Begin with the thoughts of a mother who taught you the proper way to live. Include teachers and coaches who gave you a word of wisdom and understanding. Be sure to pack thanks to all those friends that gave you words of encouragement. A lot of you are here today. There's a whole lot of love. Love for the people, love for the state of North Dakota, which taught you that the American dream was in fact not a dream, but all the reality that you made up, nobody else. And finally, what else should you pack for the trip? Pack some hope. Pack some hope to some young people here. In some hope that in some small way you can give to others what was given to you. A belief in God, a respect for this blessed land, and a mathematical truth that in America, decency and honesty and hard work do equal success. You do not have to be a con artist. You do not have to cheat. So yes, you can go home again, and I'm happy to be here with you tonight. Before I conclude this, I want to set you all at ease. There's nothing worse, especially you young, beautiful children. And thank you, parents, so very much for bringing your children. Man, that's wonderful. But there's nothing worse than going to a banquet. Is he ever going to quit talking? Is this banquet ever going to end? And I learned a lesson. I have my best friend, did my television show for years called Inside LSU Basketball. He's been all over the world with me, all over the country. We were in New Orleans at the Super, speaking, large crowd, maybe 10,000 or more people. We're driving back to Baton Rouge. He said to me, taught me something that night. He said, Dale, how many speeches have I been with you? I said, wow, I don't know. I said, hundreds. It seems like more than 1,000. He said, you know what I like best about your speeches by far? So all of us, you got to rein in your vanity and ego. I said, oh, when I talk about that whirlwind, the guy that broke the record, nope. The girl with one arm from Devil's Lake that bowled 300, nope. I said, what do you like best about my speeches? He said, I like best about your speeches more than anything else when you say in conclusion. So with that in mind, the in conclusion is coming. You children here now. It's not fashionable nowadays to listen to your mother. Oh, somebody else listen. You will never have a better friend than your mother. My mother was a remarkable woman. And one reason I'm here tonight, and not the Bismarck Penitentiary probably, is because of a mother. Kevin mentioned that my mother represented. Edgar Guest was a famous poet. I never heard my mother preach, but let me tell you what I saw her do. In children, I watched my mother. I had no father. He never wrote, called, or showed up to us. But the poem says, I'd rather see a lesson than to hear one in it. I'd rather you walk with me than to merely show the way. The eye's a better teacher and more willing than the ear. And the counsel you're giving may be very fine and true, but I'd rather get my examples by observing what you do. Two paramount things about my mother. 2 times in the middle of winter. I'm a little 10-year-old boy. She comes home from grocery shopping. She's got 2 brown paper sacks. She puts them down. She takes her winter coat off. She was meticulous. She'd cross off things. The bread, the milk, essentials, very seldom me. 2 times without saying a thing. I saw her go in the closet, put her coat on. Mama, where are you going? Oh, the lady at Red Owl gave me 40 cents too much. Another time, I saw her do the same thing. Take a quarter back to Piggly Wiggly. The final thing I learned from my mother, she went to babysit. She was a maid, and she babysat. I waited up for her. She'd come home that night. She had one chair. She told me to sit in it, pull up a rock. She said, son, I want to tell you something. I know we don't provide much. She said, you had no father in the home or anything. And she said, but I don't want you to make the same mistakes I made. She said, when I go babysit for these big shots, I mean, she could never come to something like this. She feels so inferior and out of place. She said, she'd never let anybody come up to our one-room apartment. So she'd meet him downstairs. She said, Dale, I'm so embarrassed that they may ask me some questions. So what I do, she said, I go look up big words in the dictionary. And then all the way to their house, she said, I inject these big words to make an impression upon them. Because I don't want them to smell the mothballs in my clothes that we get at the rummage sale. I don't want them to say, what college did you go to? She went to the 8th grade. I don't want to say, what's your husband do? So I try to control it. She said, son, please don't do that. She said, you know what that's called when I'm doing? That's called making an image. And Dale, if you spend too much time polishing your image, you'll eventually tarnish your character and be an unhappy man. The second person I learned from, I went 12 years to Catholic school. We couldn't afford it, whatever the tuition was. I got kicked out of a class My sister, I wish I had you as a nun. I'd have followed you all. This nun was mean. She hit you with the food, she had no personality, she had a hearing aid. We're going out of the room. And one of the guys said, what do you think of her? And for you children, I can't say the word, but I call it an SOB. It's a non-comment. It's the ex-coach, Father John Hogan, who's in the senior. I heard him say, it's Dale Brown. Yeah. So I get called out in the hall. He stands me up against the locker. And he's almost in my face. And I didn't have a very good impression of the male image. My male image vanished. So you had to prove yourself to me. And he said, what did you just call sister in the last class? He's a priest. I'm not going to say what I called her. I said, I swore her. Oh, you swore at her? He's coming closer to me. I said, no, I called her an SOB. You said the words SOB? I said, no. And I told him what I said, which was a you-know-what. He grabbed my shirt, and he banged my head off the locker. I don't know if he meant to or not. And in the meantime, I cut my lower lip and I felt blood. I folded my fist, and I'm embarrassed to say that. Roman collar and all, that's the male. As soon as he lets me go, I'm decadent. I'm driving him. I folded the fist. He squeezed me in back of the neck. And he said, Dale Brown, you can make something out of yourself. He said, I love you. And he took off. I turned and watched him walk by. That's the first man that ever told me he loved me. So that's what changed me in North Dakota. I came home, I think I was 12 years old. My mother told me, you have to come home right over school. This is another minor person that I wish was here. She said, had a piece of paper, and she drew down the middle. We got $42.50 a month from the welfare. She made 50 cents an hour, babysitting, cleaning homes. With the money I made in the paper route, hustling on the streets. She said, they don't match. You have to find a job. How in the hell? I can't hardly find the school. 12 years old? Okay, Mom. I started at Main Street and Central. It was a Woolworths. I worked my way up the street. Now, what do I know as a 10, 11, 12? Do you have any jobs? No. I walked in a jewelry store, the last spot at the end of Main Street, where I think close to the old Empire Theater, which I guess is not there anymore. And I walked in, I asked, do you have any jobs? And she turned, she said, Tom. And he took this glass out of his eye and came in. She said, we're really lucky. Aren't we looking for a little boy to work? He said, yes. It was Steen Strips Jewelry, a Jewish couple, that reached out. Finally, I graduated from college. I wanted to go get a master's degree. Now, how am I going to get a master's? So I thought, I'll go to a bank and get a loan. I got a job next year. I'm going to be the coach in Columbus for $350 a month. I thought I was screwing and getting that month. So I go to the bank. And for any of you that are bankers or you're older people, I'll never forget the embarrassment. I got to go to this loan office. First question he asked me, what's your father's employment? I learned to spell the word deceased before I learned to spell the word cat, because I was embarrassed. I said, he's deceased. What's your mother's occupation? Oh, she's retired. I just graduated from college. And the guy said, I can still see him. He took that red stamp, rejected, sorry, hands it back. I walked outside the bank, I wanted to cry, I was ticked off, I was embarrassed. There's my dream. But a minded guy, I didn't even know he was a teller in the bank, Jim Norton. Dale, I walked outside. And he said, I heard what that guy did. He said, how much do you need to go to college? Now, to go get a master's degree and live there, there was a lot of money at that time, 1957. I said, Mr. Norton, $3,000. He said, Cole, come on back in. The man wrote me a check. I'd never seen $3,000 handed to me. And I said, Mr. Norton, how can I ever pay you back? You don't have to pay me back. If you're ever successful, you reach out and help me. Now, North Dakota. Most people don't know how to spell the capital. It was the first interview I had when I got the job in 1972 in New Orleans. The guy said, the new basketball coach at LSU from Minot, South Dakota. I'm off to a good start. But let me tell you what I learned about North Dakota. We left North Dakota reluctantly in 19 58 years ago, 52 years ago. We couldn't make a living. We went to California. Every spot we went to in California. You're from North Dakota? Man, what? We'll hire a North Dakotan tomorrow. I remember today, the first thing I look at, in the USA Today, I look in the hotel, they list all the states, I look at North Dakota. I think sometimes you can be in North Dakota and not understand what a great place it is to live. I'm very proud of it. Every time I have a chance, I talk about the North Dakota Indians. For example, we're having a flood in Louisiana. The first two people I thought about, it hit me just like that. Well, Rod Romine was sitting here tonight, and a guy by the name of Wes Luther. I was hauled all over town when they lost all they had. They didn't gripe, they didn't moan, they weren't waiting for the government to help them. They were there on their hands and knees doing their own work. That's the North Dakota Army. Many times you can be in the kitchen and not smell the pies. Many times you can be in the forest and not see the trees. I've been in 90 countries in all 50 states, and I am so proud to be a North Dakotan and from my heart. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming here. That was real kind of you.
On behalf of the City of Minot and Mayor Chuck Barney, and also on behalf of Minot State University, I'm honored to be able to recognize one of our own and legendary coach, Dale Brown. Mayor Barney was unable to attend today, but I would like to read a proclamation that he has created from the City of Minot and the Office of the Mayor. Whereas Mr. Dale Brown has impressed the entire nation over time with strong work ethic, tutelage, and dedication to excellence both professionally and personally. Whereas Mr. Brown continues to call Minot home and gives back to his community when needed. Whereas Mr. Brown's success goes far beyond his time as a collegiate basketball coach, but now as a motivator and a citizen for the people all around the country and the world. Whereas the City of Minot is proud to call Mr. Dale Brown one of our very own, wherever he may live. Now, therefore, do I, Chuck Barney, Mayor of the City of Minot, hereby proclaim legendary basketball coach, Basketball Hall of Fame inductee, MSU graduate, and proud Minot native Dale Brown to receive the key to the City of Minot. Sincerely, Chuck Barney, Mayor of Minot. If it's you and I, 2-on-2, I want to be on your team because Henry wouldn't pass the ball. I know that. He's a gunner. So.
You guys with the camera when you come up, Henry? I have to tell you a story while Henry's coming up. He played at Minot Model, and I played at St. Leo's.
Never beat us either.
And that's true. But so, for 4 years, we played together. I was the leading scorer in the history of high school basketball when I graduated. But there was a better player than me. It was Henry Milky. For 4 years, I made outlet passes to him. He came down the middle, and he never, ever passed the ball. And seriously, I said to myself, so help me God, if he misses, I'm going to transfer. He never missed, but I'm going to have him pass the ball to me now. Henry, I got this on camera. Now, you're in the middle. This will make you feel so good. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to say this. You know, a lot of people come up to me and they say, did you play basketball with Dale Brown? And I look them right in the eye and I say, hell no. I said, Dale Brown played basketball with Henry Milky.
A lot of fun stories were told last night at the banquet. I've heard a lot of them are true, but it was a very, very special night. It occurred to me as I walked in and saw the plaza, of course we prepare for the unveiling of a monument, it occurred to me that celebrities are worthy of monuments, but legacies are not monuments, legacies are children. And it occurred to me as I was thinking about this day and last night's successful event, and I'm going to issue this challenge, and it might seem a bit bold to do this right off the cuff, maybe even dangerous. John knows I can be reckless. But I would hope that when we think about Dale Brown, and honoring him in this way, and certainly he's worthy of it, that we think about the legacy that follows. And I think the legacy that follows are all the beautiful children that are going to play tomorrow and next week and next year and next generation and generations after that. That's the legacy of Dale Brown. And I would hope that we could find a way, as I look back at the fundraisers, find a way to create a real legacy, where every child of all means or no means has the opportunity to participate as part of the spectacular parks programs in this city. That nothing would stand in the way of every child who has a dream of playing basketball at Bishop Bryan or Magic City Campus or the Minot State Dome or the Louisiana Superdome or in the NBA could begin their dream right here. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a legacy. Now, Senator Hoeven and I have this great honor, as I mentioned last night, as members of Congress to occasionally honor a legacy, a moment, an event, or a person by flying a flag over the United States Capitol. So I'm going to present this flag that we flew over the United States Capitol in honor of this dedication of the Dale Brown Courts at Hammond Park, in hopes that the Park District would use these flags to further the legacy of Dale Brown.
Like Dale Brown is people like A.J. Lazat. And I can remember watching A.J. play sports, and then I met your son. What's your son's name, A.J.?
Jacob.
Jacob. Where are you, Jacob? Stand up. That guy's a junior in high school. He's going to be moving some people on the football field and on the basketball court, too. And as Kevin Kramer said, that's what it's all about. And Rick Hedberg works with young people every day. This is about young people. And on behalf of myself and, my father, who's been very involved in sports over the years up here and the baseball parks, it really is about our young people. It's about our kids. Now, I know you think that's in anticipation of the fact that this monument was going to be here and we wanted to reflect on you on this monument. And that's only partially true. It was in anticipation of that. But the other reason, on these Uki Hammond tennis courts, our daughter and son logged a lot of matches. And so we were here for hours and hours and hours. And what a great park and what a great place and what a lot of great memories. And I think of all the families that are going to have that same experience, whether it's watching tennis over here on the tennis courts or whether it's playing basketball out here. And, Dale, one thing you've always been able to do is inspire people. You are truly an inspirational leader. You're a motivator. I think more than anything else, that defines your personality, motivating and inspiring people. And we see that right here. And I don't know how you could listen to AJ, and what a heartfelt, beautiful, wonderful talk, not just about Dale Brown, but about his dad and his family. Think how important that is. Think how important that is. And it's that kind of motivation and inspiration that has always been a hallmark of Dale Brown's life. So I'm going to take a minute and introduce him here. I know Dale pretty well because I'm looking out around here and I see some of my buddies from years past. I won't mention any of their names like Chuck Merck or anyone else because I don't want to single them out or embarrass them. But, we grew up learning about Dale Brown. We were out there playing sports and trying to play some basketball, or Henry Milkey. Of course, Henry, you officiated an awful lot of our games. Never blew a call once, right? He was very, very good. We knew when Henry was the official, we knew it was going to be done just right. Dale Brown, he grew up, didn't have much. Grew up and worked hard, had a paper out, did other things. We've heard stories through the years to make a few dollars to help the family. And so he knew what hard work was right as a very young boy. And went to St. Leo's and had an amazing career at St. Leo's, playing basketball and virtually every sport you can think of. And of course then at Minot State, I think made like 12 letters at Minot State in football, basketball, and track. And, just an incredible athlete, had some incredible teams, and after a really stellar athletic career, went into teaching and coaching, taught 5 different courses, I think, up at Columbus High School where he started, and of course coached basketball. And driving up, I talked to a buddy of mine, Ron Rauschenberger. You might remember, he played for the Kenmare Hawkers. Now, Coach, he claims, he said, to bring this up, I hate to do it, but he said that when the Columbus Cougars went to Kenmare and played the Hawkers, that the Hawkers won. Now, you're going to get rebuttal on that, but that's what he's saying, you know, is that the Hawkers kind of roughed up the Cougars. So I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but I know the Hawkers are pretty good. But I know by the time he got to Minot Ryan that he had some outstanding teams. It was Dale Brown coaching the basketball team, and it was Ron Earhart coaching the football team, right? One ends up at LSU, and the other ends up coaching pro football. How amazing is that, right? That, in and of itself, is a pretty amazing story. And then he went on out to California. He coached at Washington, a number of different places across western part of the country, Utah State, until he ended up in Baton Rouge, right? LSU Tigers. Yeah. Now I ask you, is it coincidence that they have the exact same colors as mine at Ryan High School? Huh? Do you think that's coincidence? Their colors were orange and salmon. But Dale got there and said, no, we're going to gold and purple. I might be making up some of that. But I got to go down and watch his teams play. And of course, you all know about him finding or discovering Shaquille O'Neal and mentoring him. But he had a lot of good teams. And he had a lot of good teams before he partnered up with Shaquille, and they're fast friends till today, which tells you the kind of relationship that Dale Brown builds. But I remember going down and watching some of those LSU teams, and they were fun to watch. But I'll wrap up by saying this. Dale was obviously an amazing coach, an amazing coach. More than that, though, he was inspirational. He was a motivator. And that's why you've seen him continue to motivate and inspire people since he's retired from coaching. But that's not what I'm going to leave you with. That is not the thought I'm going to leave you with, even though he is truly an inspirational motivator. Here's the thought I'm going to leave you with as I introduce you to say a few words and why that monument is there in his honor, the legend in stone. This is why. Because he never forgot his roots. He never forgot that he came from North Dakota. He never forgot that he came from Minot, North Dakota, the Magic City. He always honored North Dakota. He always honored his roots. We are his family, and he has always honored his family. God bless you, Dale, and congratulations.
In March of 1979, I was 13 years old, and my father, Al Lazat, and I set out to work on crushing old cars. On the way to the job site, he told me that we had to quit by 1 p.m. and to be sure to remind him. On the ground, torching motors, rear ends, and transmissions out of the vehicles while my dad ran the payloader and the crusher. I, of course, didn't have a timepiece, just a growling stomach when I yelled up to Dad in the payloader asking what time it was. He stated, "It's time to go." We went home, had some lunch, and Dad turned on the television. The game between LSU and Michigan State was about to begin. I remember Keith Jackson was announcing, and it was on ABC's Wild World of Sports. Before the game started, Mr. Jackson was talking about Irvin Magic Johnson as the player for Michigan State. And then he said, and that is Coach Dale Brown of the LSU Tigers, and his name was on the lower portion of the screen. At that moment, my dad said, "AJ, you see that man? That's Dale Brown, and I went to high school with him, and we were friends. He has accomplished a lot, and that if I ever get a chance to meet him, to do it." In August 1982, as a 16-year-old sophomore at Bishop Ryan High School in Minot, North Dakota, we had our first varsity football game. Normally a prayer was said in the basement locker room, but on this evening all players were asked to gather in the gymnasium for the prayer. I was standing at the middle of the stage right under the hoop, and as Coach McNally and assistant coaches came out of the basement, they were followed by Dale Brown and clergy. They lined up at the free throw line, and Coach McNally introduced Dale. Immediately I thought of that day in 1979 and my dad's request to meet Dale if I ever had the opportunity. The prayer was being said and all I could do was repeat in my head, do I or don't I? Upon completion, I walked straight out to Dale, extended my hand and said, Mr. Brown, my name is A.J. Lazat. Dale's response was, are you Ronnie's boy? Dale Brown, I hope this legend in stone monument will inspire others that with hard work and drive, they too can become legendary. I'm certain I speak on behalf of the citizens of the state of North Dakota and the residents of Minot, and we all wish you and your family the best in years to come. We love you, Dale.
Dale Brown is a legend, you know, so anytime we can be associated with a legend of Minot and a coach that's got a history with Minot and the whole United States in whole is a good thing for our company and also for the state of North Dakota.
A.J. Lazat was 12 years old when his father introduced him to Dale Brown by watching a Final Four game Brown's LSU Tigers were playing in.
And my father said to me, A.J., I went to high school with Dale Brown and he was a friend and is a friend. And he said he's done something with his life.
Dale Brown is going to the Final Four for the second time in his reign.
If you ever get a chance to meet Dale Brown, do it.
2 years later, A.J.'s father died, and 2 years after that, as a high school sophomore at Bishop Ryan High School, Brown's alma mater, A.J. got a chance to meet his dad's friend.
I walked out to Dale and I said, Mr. Brown, I said, my name is A.J. Lazat. And he said, shook my hand and he said, son, are you Ronnie's boy? I said, yes. And he said to me, he said, is he here tonight? I would like to sit with him. And I had to unfortunately tell him that he had passed 2 years prior. And he grabbed my shoulder pads and he said, I'm going to watch 75 tonight.
Jump forward 32 years, and A.J. had his second chance meeting with Coach Brown.
I approached him, told him my name was A.J. Lazat, and he said, are you Ronnie's boy? Same thing he said 32 years previous.
This time, Brown took an interest in A.J.'s son and offered him some valuable advice. And more recently, Brown was speaking at a special event in Minot and singled out A.J.'s son for some good-natured ribbing.
Dale had my son stand up and he boxed him out. Told him he taught Shaq that, and you know, got to feel him with your rear end, and I was in awe. It was really awesome.
Those experiences helped A.J. Lazat to decide it was time for Dale Brown's hometown to honor the man who's gone on to be so successful.
He's something everybody should look up to.
Oh, I said that go.
Oh. These courts, part of the refurbished Hammond Park tennis and basketball courts, will get Dale Brown's name.
Make it a day for Dale in the city of Minot and the state.
A.J. expects the dedication to be sometime in late summer or early fall, and he hopes a lot of people will come out to honor Dale Brown.
He's proud to be from here, and I think he will totally enjoy what's coming.
It's something A.J. is happy to devote so much time to, and something he knows someone else would have done himself.
If my father was here, he would be leading this charge for his friend to have this dedication and tribute to Dale Brown.
In Minot, North Dakota, Jim Olson for CBS News.
To see this happen is simple. If this can happen to me with no connections, no father, welfare, poverty, it's an indication that anybody can get it done. Success is sometimes handed to people, but 99 9/10 of us have to work for it. And what I did learn in North Dakota is a work ethic. I never expected anything. I didn't think I deserved anything. I knew I had to earn it. And you work hard. Hard work does pay off. I had no connections. I did not play big-time college basketball. I knew no big-time coaches. But I had a belief that if I got a chance, I could do it. There's a plaque over there called North Dakota Roots. I don't know if you had a chance to read it or not, but read it. That's the secret.
Thank you so much for watching the video. To contribute,